Hey y'all, Meredith here from Peak Performance, and today we're going to talk a little bit about a hip stability exercise that's especially great for runners and anyone who's doing any kind of activity where they have to either run or stand on one leg for, which encompasses most land-based exercises. So this exercise is called a hip hike. It especially works your glutes on the outside of your hip, your glute med and glute min. They're big stabilizers for your hip. So in runners especially, a lot of women you'll see, they'll be running and their opposite hip will kind of drop. And so they'll end up with that knee kind of caving in a little bit, foot rotating it in, and you'll see a lot of extra pressure on their hip and low back. And then they can also get it on their knee and on their foot as well. So this can lead to a whole host of different issues. So this exercise really helps to kind of stabilize from the hips up. Okay, so for this exercise, I like to do this on an elevated surface. If you're out in the community, you can use a curb or something like that. You can do this on the ground. It's just a little bit harder to make sure you're not compensating. So I like to have something to hold on to too, so I'm not having to focus on my balance so much. So when I do this, my left leg, which is my stance leg, is going to be the one that I want doing all the work for me. This right side is going to help a little bit, but I really want to minimize that as much as I can. So the one thing you want to avoid with this is really thinking about side bending to that right side or hiking that right hip up. It's more that the left side should push down enough to level your pelvis out and to slightly raise that right hip. So I'm going to start with my right hip kind of down as low as I can, relaxing this left hip. And I'm going to think about pushing through my heel and really thinking about these muscles on the outside of my hip and making them do the work. And I'm basically just pushing through there, holding for a few seconds, and then coming back down. You want to go as high as you can control without getting that side bend in. Because that side bend means that these muscles in your core are kind of taking over. So that's a great exercise you can do to work your glutes, and especially the glutes on the outside of the hip that tend to fatigue as you run. If you are having any kind of hip issues and you feel like you could use a little bit of help in getting over those, send us a message at Peak Performance, or you can give us a call and we can set up a free phone consultation just to see how we can help you the best. Thanks.